Hey, what's up, good people? It's your girl KB. You know what I do and you know why I do it. It is Thursday, May 30th, and it is 3:25 in the a.m. And I am just getting into my devotional readings. I am reading just for today, which is entitled Loneliness versus Being Alone. And, I've shared that I'm an audiophile, so, I know a lot of obscure music. You know, I'm always the one that's, oh, this reminds me of such and such and such. I have a soundtrack in my head. Let me just put it out there. There's a scene in the movie Shaft where, Richard Roundtree is walking and the theme from Shaft is playing. That's my life. It's like certain situations have its own, have their own music. That being said, loneliness versus being alone reminded me of a song that I first heard. I believe it was Jermaine Jackson's first LP, and it's on there. He also did a song with Whitney Houston that was also a major theme on a soap opera. It's so funny. With Meg Ryan and her boyfriend and then husband. The soap opera, I can't remember the name of the soap opera. But that song was If You Say My Eyes Are Beautiful. That was the duet with Whitney Houston. But Loneliness Won't Leave Me Alone. It's also done by a one-hit wonder, and this was the song. And the lyrics go, the chorus of the song. Lonely won't leave me alone. And you repeat it, lonely won't leave me alone. Tell me why. Won't even let me fall in love. Have you ever been that lonely that you're just disconnected from everything and you self-sabotage everything? That's what I was thinking about when loneliness versus being alone. Loneliness is that thirst that the kids talk about. Loneliness is a thirst trap. I need something to quench this. And man, when I say I need something to quench this, most of us, seek the quenching in the feel good. So loneliness makes for strange bedfellows. Gonna put this right out there and be very real about it. See, I think one of the things that happens in ministry is that folks don't talk real. Folks don't talk about what people really do. So when we're lonely, we go get any old body, and I mean it just like it sounds, any old body. And then, when it goes south, and it will, because your motivation in your heart for seeking that fulfillment was for your immediate gratification and, had nothing really behind it, no substance behind it. So yeah, there you have it. That's the real, We fall into our own thirst traps or mirages. Remember the old movies where somebody's wandering through the desert and you see them with lips that look like they ate a bag of powdered donuts, and they run and dive into sand and, start drinking sand because they saw water. We drink anywhere and everywhere except from the life-giving well, the source of our strength, that living water, Psalm 42:1. But yeah, that's the verse, Psalm 42:1. As the deer panteth for the water, so my soul longeth after thee. We allow lonely to just take us to places that we find ourselves, that we find difficult to extricate ourselves from. And then we call it a relationship, but man, this will preach, and I know I'm talking to the majority of folks because we all do it. You know, I wonder why this didn't work. Woe was me. Because your motivation and your heart were in the wrong place. And you, instead of the woe is me, you ought to be thanking God for removing you from the situation that was meant to kill you. Okay, I've just preached on the title. Let me get into this. It says sharing with others keeps us from feeling isolated and alone. Sharing what? You need to be serious about identifying what you're sharing. And unfortunately, too many of us, it's our bodies, our temples. But we're quick to say, my body is a temple, but you defile it every chance you get. You know, I'd rather, I want to say eat bad food. If I'm going to defile my temple, I'd rather eat junk food than have soul ties to somebody that is actively seeking to destroy me. And can't always blame the other person. I could be the person that's actively seeking to destroy me based on my choices. So I need to look at what is influencing my choices. What is my motivation? And see, in recovery, we talk about the motivation for change. First, you need to figure out what your motivation for change is. Then, you need to look at the actions taken toward change. The writer says there's a difference between being alone and being lonely. Being lonely is a state of the heart, an emptiness that makes us feel sad and sometimes hopeless, which leads us to the thirst trap. Loneliness is not always alleviated when we enter into relationships. Right there. Can't get any more plain than that. Or surround ourselves with others. Some of us are lonely even in a room full of people. Many of us came to NA out of the desperate loneliness of our addiction. See, if I can keep you isolated, I can keep you sick. And you've heard me say this on numerous occasions. There's a lot of people in our circle that benefit from us remaining in our illness. And unfortunately, many of those people are family and loved ones. After coming to a meeting, we begin to make new friends, and often our feelings of loneliness ease. But many of us must contend with loneliness throughout our recovery. Some of us have self-isolating behaviors, so we can indulge in the thing that's going to kill us. Remember, I said the enemy deals with our feelings because he is not omniscient and he's not omnipotent. See, it's just like the Wizard of Oz. When you pull back that curtain, there's a little person that's just as frail as you are, just as fearful as you are, but makes a whole lot of noise, pulling levers and manipulating the smoke and the mirrors to keep you stuck. See, that's what bullies do. They make a whole lot of noise. And when you stand up to a bully, when you look that bully in the eye, let's say, it's on sight. We ain't got nothing between us but air and opportunity. Now, I'm not saying the bully's not going to put up a fight. But I'm going to tell you who the victor is always going to be. You, because you stood up to it. You, because you looked it in the eye. You, because you said no more. I'm not saying you ain't going to get scuffed up. Yeah, you're going to take your lumps. But at that point, the bully knew that they were in a fight, and the bully knew that you were done. Are you going to let loneliness bully you? Are you going to give in to the enemy? Surrender to your feels? What's real in your life? Are you practicing self-isolating behaviors? Are you giving the enemy permission to lead to, I don't want to say rancid water, tainted wells? You know, some of us are content and intent to drink from those pools. But have you ever asked yourself why? And what does real water taste like? Amen.